Jameis Winston in Tampa taking on Carolina in London. Max, what grade are you giving famous Jameis?
I'm actually giving him a B+. Jameis Winston has played very well this year. I'm not a fan. I would have moved on from him. I did not think he was going to – I thought he was a bust. But I have to admit, like, and adjust to what I'm seeing. He is – and if you divided the quarterbacks into top half or lower half, he's been a top half quarterback. Then you say, could you even move him up higher than that? Could he nip at the top 10? This season so far, you could make the argument – that Winston has been a top 10 quarterback. That's good enough for a B+.
I think it's good enough for an A-.
Oh.
And I'm going to tell you why. Because I think it's not just about his performance. You have to take into consideration the trials and tribulations that lied before him. The fact of the matter is we thought he was finished. We thought that he was a bust. We also thought he was a knucklehead, didn't know how to act, couldn't lead, couldn't do anything. I'm sorry. Yeah. Didn't act, couldn't lead, couldn't do anything. He's put his head down. He's listened to Bruce Arians. He's listened to Byron Leftwich. He's become a quality quarterback thus far in the early part of the season. I don't just look at your performance. I look at the obstacles that you overcome en route to performing well.
Yeah.
And considering that, I think that Jameis Winston deserves an A- for us. He's to be commended not just for his play, but how he's conducted himself as a leader of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers franchise.
Okay, Professor Smith. Next one on the docket, Baker Mayfield. Baker and those Browns are looking to bounce back this weekend against the Seahawks. What grade do you give the Bake Show so far this season?
Here's the deal. Thus far,
yeah,
I'm not going to give him an F.
Okay.
I'm going to give him a C-.
Slightly below average.
Listen. I don't think that's slightly below average.
So isn't C average?
If there was a D in this daggone booklet, he'd have had it.
That's
okay?
below average.
The fact is we don't have a D.
We don't have a D.
All right? And I don't want to give him an F. But the lowest grade, other than that, available to me is a C-. Baker Mayfield has been a huge disappointment only because, number one, the expectations, the shine that has been placed on him. I can't turn on my damn TV without seeing it in a commercial. And then we get out on the field, and we've seen nothing but inconsistency all season long. And somehow, some way, you haven't managed to find Odell Beckham Jr., but you find every commercial that you could. Okay, so I look at it from that perspective, the fact that they're below 500, the fact that he's made headlines for far too many things other than football, off the field quotes, comments, and things of that nature. I think thus far this season, he has been a disappointment.
Okay.
I'm giving him a C- too, and we don't have any Ds in here. But I'd give him a C- anyway because so much of this is coaching. Jameis Winston looked lost, right? It was over for him. I'd said move on from him. The off-the-field stuff makes this not worth it, right? What's he giving you? You bring in Bruce Arians and Byron Leftwich, all of a sudden, Stephen A is giving him an A-. I give him a B+.
Yeah, huge props to them.
Jared Goff with Jeff Fisher was Stephen A's favorite coach back in the day.
Jeff Fisher? Oh, yeah. He's definitely joking about that.
Anyway, that he was an F. Jared Goff was an F. He was a ball. All of a sudden, you give him a real coach, and he's an A, right, or a B at this season. So I'm not going to be too down on Baker Mayfield. He's dealing with a coaching issue right now. I believe he's got to be better, C-.
Okay, let's move on here to another quarterback. Before we had Patrick Mahomes, everybody was talking about Carson Wentz, Pennsylvania. They've got a tough test on Sunday against Minnesota. Max, what grade are you giving Wentz so far?
I got to tell you, I know he won, and some people will say, oh, we don't. I'd like to give him a B-. We also don't have one of those, so I'm going to give him a B.
Oh, God.
I think it's better than the C. I do not think he looked good last time out. But I don't think I think he's a better than average guy so far this year.
Yeah.
But I would say B- overall or B overall for Carson Wentz. I'm impressed with the fact that he's getting to be a better leader than he's been. He's still not all the way there. His talent is obvious. It's inconsistent. I'll give him a B.
B+. Reason why I give him a B+ is because the Eagles have led the league with drops. They've had at least 12 to 13 drops. I'm sorry, B+. I give him the B+, Carson Wentz. It ain't his fault that they can't catch the damn ball. He's put 2 game winners right in the palm of their hands or their chest, and they've dropped passes against Atlanta, against Detroit. Carson Wentz has been better than average. He's been very impressive. He's been victimized by dudes that can't catch the damn ball.
All right, Stephen A., I got another one for you. Jared Goff started out hot, not as impressive of late. Where's he on your grading curve?
I give him a C. He should be better. Sean McVay should be better. Jared Goff can't fling that football. Perfect example is when he threw for over 500 yards against Tampa, but he also threw 3 interceptions. That's been Jared Goff, up and down, up and down. He got his money, but we're not getting the consistent play. As a result, we're not getting the consistent leadership out. I know they've been compromised to some degree by Todd Gurley not being 100%, but I can't give Jared Goff better than a C right now.
For the first time, I have a high. I thought you were just a very lenient grader, but I'll give him a C+ because Todd Gurley, look, without Todd Gurley play action, what's Jared Goff? Man, you can say that about a lot of quarterbacks. He doesn't have his full system in place. He's been holding it down, but the team has other problems, too. I basically agree with Stephen A. I'm a little more generous to Goff, C+.
All right, before we move on, I know America's team, Cowboys fans travel. Any Cowboys fans in this crowd?
You see, that's why I like Clemson. That's why I like Clemson.
I see some Cam jerseys. All right, Stephen A., another one who started out real hot on a 2-game losing streak. Where's he right now?
Who's this?
Dak Prescott. Your quarterback. What do you mean,
I would tell you this. He gets a C from me as well. He was a top 3 candidate for league MVP honors after the first 2 or 3 games. The last couple of games, he's tailed off considerably, particularly against New Orleans before, struggling in the first half against Green Bay and then coming on in the second half. He has been a model of inconsistency thus far, and when you consider the fact that you're trying to get a new contract, that's not a good position to put yourself in. I say right now he's a C.
I'll give him a B. If you're in the MVP conversation after 3 games, if you're debating with me, Stephen A., and people are telling me, oh, Brady's more in the game, and you look at the level of opposition, the first time Brady faced the real team, the only time this year, it was a 16-10 game. They could have easily lost it, if the other guy didn't have to go through concussion protocol. So a lot of it is who you're playing. A lot of it is who coaches you. Dak trying to be more than a game manager now. You take me saying Brady is a game manager is a dirty word. Last 2 games, if Dak was a little more of a game manager, they would have had a better chance, in fact. I give Dak a B overall. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.